All right. All right. So, wait, got some music over here. I'm like, I thought it was someone else. It's me over here playing music. I'm like, where's this music coming from? All right. All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. Let's grow. Let's get started up. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just please give me a thumbs up really quick if you guys can see the screen, please, just to make sure that I get some good feedback there. Just drop it into the chat if you guys can see it. That'll be great, just so I can, okay, nobody's dropping into the chat. Can you guys see my screen? Yes? Okay, cool. Awesome. I was like, wait a minute. Are you guys there? Are you guys there? Are you guys okay? Are you guys paying attention? All right. So remember, you'll be present. Bring your full attention into this room. Eliminate distractions. Focus in this conversation. Engage and drop insights. Understand that how you do anything is how you do everything. And remember that this message today is specifically for you. I know I'm ready. I know you guys are ready. So let's get this started up. So today we're going to talk about how to rank #1 on Google Maps. I really believe that ranking on Google is one of the most undervalued things that a lot of people are not taking advantage of. And this is why I'm bringing Anthony to speak about what he's been able to do for the last couple of years. He's making over $1 million a year, literally crushing it in his market. And he's going to be talking about, that's going to be the second half. The first half, I'm going to be covering some stats that are really exciting. That way you guys are fully empowered and understand how to have conversations and out there prospecting for your clients. So also, let's get started up with the affirmations. So this is an opportunity for you to do so. Now you can unmute. Yes, please unmute after this, but please unmute now because I want to hear all of you guys. We're going to be doing affirmations just like we typically get started. I want to amplify the energy in this room. So are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Go.
All right, all right. That was like a 7. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3, power up.
1, 2, 3, power up.
3, power up.
1, 2, 3, power up.
Power up.
Every day and every way, I'm
Energy equals
every day and every way, I'm getting better and better.
Every way I'm better and better.
Every way I'm getting better and better.
Every day and every way, I'm getting
Smarter
stronger
and smarter.
Every day and every way I'm getting stronger and stronger.
and every way, I'm getting smarter and smarter.
Every way I'm getting smarter and smarter.
My is within me now.
Enemies within me now.
I have perfect health.
Perfect health.
I was born to win.
I was born to win.
I will never surrender.
I will never surrender.
I will always keep growing.
I will always keep growing.
I was born to be great.
I was born to be great.
Today will be the best day of my life, no matter what.
Today will be the best day of my life, no matter what.
Hey.
Go. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for playing full out. Thank you guys for doing this affirmations. If you guys saw me, I was in New Jersey last week. I did this in front of 100 people live. So I brought these affirmations live to New Jersey. It was so cool. Thank you guys for playing full out. I always share this, guys. If you can't muster up the energy to do this little exercise to extend your energy a little bit more, what makes you think that you're going to crush it in 2024 if you can't amplify your energy for 1 minute, right? If you feel uncomfortable amplifying your energy, you got to question yourself as to why that is. Because the #1 thing that's going to help you to crush this year is going to be your energy. Your energy has to be off the charts, guys. So let's go to the next slide, and we're going to just breathe really quick. That way we can bring our presence into the room. So we're just going to breathe together 6 times, in, out the nose, in through the nose, out the mouth. And then at the last breath, we're going to hold as long as you can, and then we're going to let it go, okay? So just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, hold at the top, hold. Let it go whenever you're ready to do so. I feel good. That breath feels good. Remember, practice this whenever you're going to have a conversation with anybody and you want to be more impactful. Make sure you do that quick little exercise. If you feel dizzy right now, that's your brain saying thank you for the oxygen. So thank you guys for breathing with me. Next, we're going to get into gratitude. Gratitude is an abundance multiplier. Gratitude is an abundance multiplier. So I am so grateful to be here with each and every single one of you. I'm so grateful for the ability to see. I'm so grateful for the ability to speak. I'm so grateful for that, to have a roof over my head. I am so grateful to be here with all of you, sharing this message, sharing our energy together here in this room. Thank you so much for being part of our community. And fill in the blank. What are you grateful for today, right? You know, look within. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? Tune into gratitude. Tune into gratitude. That's the fastest way for you to shift. If you're having a bad day, if you're having a bad moment, like I don't believe in bad days. You can have bad moments and you can shift out of those bad moments by remembering what you can be grateful for. Okay? I'm grateful for this fresh air that we get to breathe. Sheesh. Awesome. So now I want you to visualize, right? Utilize that mental movie. I want you to see yourself at the end of 2024. I know we just started. I know we're 15 days into it, but I want you to visualize yourself at the end of 2024. And I want you to see yourself. What car are you driving? How are you dressed? How are you walking? How does your body feel? What does your bank account look like? Where are you traveling to? Who are you with? I want you to visualize, make a mental movie about this, right? Feel free to close your eyes. That way you can see it, right? Visualize it. Bring that image, that movie to your present moment, because your mind does not differentiate whether what you're seeing in your mind is real or not. The more that you can focus on that visualization, the faster you will be living it. Okay, cool. All right, we're going to move on. Thank you guys for playing full out. Our goal, 21,000 families to serve this year, 10 billion in volume, and 10,000 agents. Last week, we also acknowledged all the top 10 producers, teams, and also attractors in the company. We did over 6,000 transactions, 6,700 transactions. So congratulations to all of you once again. If you guys missed that training for some reason, you guys can request a recording because it was a very powerful training as well. Next, we're going to move into the market updates. Really cool stuff, guys. This year is the year of fives. This is so cool, the way they laid it out, okay? This is good stats. I want you guys to screenshot it or write it down, okay? So our interest rates are going to be in the fives by May. That's facts. 5.5 million in home sales this year, right? So that's, you know, we're getting a little bit closer. We're getting a little bit more inventory. 5% will be the approximate home appreciation. Okay, so that means that the year of the fives, which is pretty cool. So remember that when you're in conversation, guys, and do not wait. Like, tell your clients that they need to do something now. Once the public starts to find out that the interest rates, the appreciation, all this stuff is going to happen, you're going to be bidding against 100 offers. Like, that's already happening, by the way. I'm talking to people at different markets, and that's already starting to happen. This thing is going to hit, and it's going to hit hard. You guys got to get ready. You need to get in conversations with your customers now. Yes, I was going to say yesterday. You should have gotten in conversation with them yesterday. Get them in the market. It also appears the mortgage rates are now falling again. Obviously, there will be certainly not fall they will almost certainly not fall to the pandemic lows, although we may soon see rates under 6%. Which, like we just covered, right? The year of the fives. And this is kind of like a, you know, just to show you some projections on what the mortgage rates are doing again, right? We're talking a lot about the rates, but guys, you guys need to drive this conversation in your with your customers, with your past clients, your sphere of influence. You got to get your community motivated to do something now. So these are what the you know, how many people like lock-in rates, right? So this is where your inventory is basically being held right now, right? So about 3 to 4% are probably not selling. This is a huge market here because they're under 4% interest rate, right? This chunk here is under 3%. This chunk here is between 4 and 5. So you're kind of looking at this, you know, most likely being the market that you're going to be able to attack to inspire them to be sellers for yourself. Okay, so that's a little graph there. Also, a marked turn can be expected as mortgage rates have plunged in recent weeks. So again, we might be at a peak lock-in effect. Some move up or lifestyle sellers might be coming to terms with the fact that 3-4% mortgage rates aren't returning. If the lock-in effect eases up further in 2024, it could help boost existing home sales from very low levels experienced at the end of 2023. Guys, I think that we're gonna have a year that's gonna be absolutely on fire. We're gonna increase values of homes. So this is the time to enter the market. 78.7% of mortgage rates less than 5%. Okay, so that's a huge number, right? So we're, I think that we're going to be looking at May for the numbers to, go down in the 5s again, but that's where your inventory is. But you got to get people prepared now, because you can get them to sell or buy. And when the rates do dip in the 5s, they can go ahead and do a quick refinance. Okay, so get them into the market. You're going to have less competition now. Roughly half, 50% of November buyers were going to buy regardless of interest rates. So a lot of people didn't even care about the interest rates. And another quarter, 23%, purchased with cash. So make sure your messaging is also targeting these cash buyers, right? A lot of people are buying cash. They're sitting in a giant amount of equity, right? I think last year we were looking at the stat, everybody's sitting in about $397,000 in equity. So a lot of people are sitting on mega cash. They're waiting for this moment to enter the market. So okay, cool. Next, homeowners who are selling aren't influenced by rates, with 90% of the successful November sellers stating they were going to sell regardless of what rates were. That was by Erica Clemens. Okay, so a lot of positive news, as you guys can hear. The market currently requires a higher level of new construction inventory due to a persistent lack of resale inventory. Newly built homes available for sale accounted 31% of total homes available for sale in November, compared to approximately 12% historical average. So more than double of new homes account for all the sales, guys. So if I was you, I would make new home sales part of your business every single week. Showcase these beautiful newly built homes. Partner up with the builders. Find out who's selling, what the deals are, because when you are talking to your customers, not only do you need to know what's on the MLS, you need to know what builders also have. If you create a strong partnership and relationship with builders, they will also share with you inventory that's off market. And typically, builders are paying anywhere from 3 to 4%, and it's some of the easiest transactions. I know a lot of you have done new builder home sales. Guys, you just register your client. Do not miss this, by the way. Register your client. Do not send your client to a builder without being present. Because if you send them to this builder, they're going to register them, and you're going to miss out on a 3 to 4% commission. And all you had to do is show up to them the first time. Okay, so in the MLS, there's actually, somebody just asked this question. In the MLS, there's actually a specific link that you can actually, there's a new home builder professional. It's part of your MLS membership. A lot of people don't know about this, and that MLS literally includes all the different home builders. It's new home professional. It's on the MLS. So also, next slide. Oh, wait a minute. Where did I go? I think I need to go back. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry about this, guys. Hold on a second. Here we go. Top 3 reasons why buyer paused their decision, right? Reasons giving for pausing their purchase. So 72% of buyers were actually like, hey, interest rates are too high, man. I can't buy, right? 34% of inventory, and then 17% said affordability, right? So again, why am I yelling at the top of my lungs about these interest rates, guys? 72% decided not to buy because of interest rates. So if I was you guys, every single person you know right now, tell them these news. That's where all of your deals are locked up, with people you already know that decided to put themselves on the sidelines. This is it, guys. This is it. So potential growth in household wealth over the next 5 years, right? This is an average solely on increased home equity. If you purchased a home, purchased a $400,000 home in January. So I'm talking about this year. So anybody that buys in January, minimum, right, on average, is going to increase equity by $72,000. Another really powerful stat, guys. Use this, right? This is what it shows you appreciation and projections over the next 5 years. So everybody's waiting for a crash. No indication of that whatsoever. We now forecast 3 consecutive 25 bits cut in March, May, and June. Reset the policy rate from levels that Powell has recently taken, describing as well into restrictive territory rather than just restrictive. Okay, cool. So again, interest rates, get on the phones, guys, talk to your people. And then Fannie Mae is expecting, they did a survey with 100 housing experts across the industry. So this is really cool. they all predicted. These are the smartest 100 smartest people that like, you know, check out the real estate industry. Every single one of them said that this is going to be what our appreciation is going to be over the next 5 years. So again, right? It's a great idea to enter the market. Guys, get your buyers in escrow. Get your buyers under contract. Get those listings. With mortgages dropping, demand for homes in early 2024 is likely to be strong and will be, again, put pressure on prices. Prices are going to go up. Most markets will continue to reach new home price highs over the course of 2024. Big. Okay. Home prices gains in CoreLogic, Schiller, have increased by about 7% since the beginning of the year and are 1% higher than all the peak of 2022, recovering all losses recorded in the second half of 2022. Okay, cool. So those are all the stats. Use it in conversation. Just don't sit here and say like, oh, that's pretty cool information. Create content, send it out to your your email list. Guys, every single one of you should have a newsletter. Every single one of you should have a newsletter. It will literally take you 1 hour to do it because I already taught you guys how to do it. If you have not done it, please take the time and get it done. Okay. Also, these are the 5 local markets, right? So if you just in case, right? I know we got people here from everywhere, but this is what happened in LA, Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside, and San Diego counties, the 5 counties that are around us. $960 million in LA, $485 million in Orange County, $165 million in San Bernardino, $321 in Riverside, and $409 million in San Diego. So with all 5 counties, in the last 7 days, there were $2.3 billion in closings, 2,200 homes closed, and $59 million in commissions paid in the last 7 days. The money is there, guys. Get out there and talk to people. And make sure, obviously, because everybody in here saw their county, do your specific actives, pendings, days on the market. Know this information. This is going to make you powerful. When people are talking to you right now as a real estate professional, they need to know that you know your stuff. If you do not know your stuff, they're going to overlook you and they're going to go to the next person. And there's about 1.6, 1.7 million of us that are still active. So increase your professionalism. This is the time to go all in, guys. So Expi stock, we're about $13.36, $2 billion in market cap. And I wanted to run through all those stats as quickly as I could because we have Mr. Claremont, Mr. Anthony Grynchow that's going to be getting into a presentation on how to crush it on Google Maps. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up really quick here. Anthony and I have gotten the opportunity to know each other over, I think over the last year. I've admired him from afar for a long time, but finally we connected and we've been talking, and we are now partnering up because I really believe that the digital storefront for you guys, that is an absolute must. And if you don't have one, guys, you're going to be missing a ton of opportunity. Get this. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up. I just want to make sure that I cover his bio so you guys can hear a little bit about Anthony Grynchow, aka Mr. Claremont. Okay, Anthony Grynchow is a highly accomplished realtor who began his career at the age of 18, just like me. Over 15 years of experience as a full-time local listing agent, Anthony has successfully navigated challenges such as the 2008 recession and the COVID pandemic, achieving his success uniquely without spending any money on online leads. Key. And having adopted Mr. Claremont branding identity and dedicating himself to hyper-local marketing and being a true geo-farmer, he closed over 140 transactions in Claremont geo-farm and consistently nets over $500,000 in GCI over the past several years. In addition to his real estate agent activities, Anthony is an investor with multiple residential and commercial properties. He's also the CEO and co-founder of the DLE, the Designated Local Expert, company built in the principles and tactics that has fueled his success as an agent. At DLE, he has focused his attention on helping agents thrive as he has. DLE provides select agents a powerful, truly unique personal brand and geographically exclusive virtual office to help agents capture more local market share in their city. DLE gives the power back to real estate agents that have lost online to the online competitors just like Zillow with the DLE marketing tactics. Anthony is passionate about promoting a lifestyle of a local listing agent experiencing as an identity shift to become a crossbreed between a celebrity and a public figure. 2 tenets underlying his success in real estate is that his success demands attention And when you list, you last. Facts. Beyond his professional life, Anthony is the devoted husband to Annie and a proud father of 3 beautiful daughters, Charlotte, Annabelle, and Gwendolyn. Residing in his dream home in North Claremont, he is a fitness nutritionist enthusiast who enjoys working out. A graduate of Cal Poly Pomona. I grew up in Pomona. That's pretty cool too. Anthony is passionate about empowering real estate agents to understand the power of mindset, manifesting techniques, and approaching real estate as a holistic perspective. So, without further ado, Mr. Anthony Grynchow, Mr. Claremont, welcome. Let's go. All right. And you're muted, my friend. You're muted. Also, quick question. Would you like me to be your co-pilot on sharing the slides? Because I do have the slides up.
Yeah, can you please share the slides? All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear him. We can hear you. We can hear you. Thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate you. I know, just so you guys know, we've been talking about doing this for a long time, guys. So I'm super excited that this moment is here, January 15, 2024. So thank you so much for being here, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let me go ahead and pull up the slide. Here we go. Awesome. Go for it, brother.
Super excited to be here, everyone. Thanks so much. So yeah, we'll just let's flip it to slide 2 there, and we'll just dive right into it. So beautiful intro, Leah. I really appreciate it. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about, how this personal brand ties in with SEO and how it all, comes to fruition. But the bottom line is, in the real estate industry, is what everyone has to clearly understand is that the internet has completely changed from not only location specific, but city specific searching, right? So, I'm a firm believer the quickest way to add value to your time is through geofarming. And it's pretty incredible because what people, want is a local expert. And when you just look at the facts of where we're at, and if you just captured 2% on average, if you look back at those stats on the last 7 days, the 55+ million that was paid out in commission, if you just had a strategy to capture just 2% of the listing inventory in your city, just in the 500 to 1.5 range, you can become a multi-millionaire. And when you get listings that are walking distance from where you live and you start double ending them, you start making a substantial amount more money and you have a lot more time. So that's why geofarming is extremely important. Number 2, so from like a broad perspective, the battle in real estate always has been, and more than ever now, it's a battle over local market share. And you got to have a strong local voice. And how the internet works is simple. You could be in New York searching or in your city, but people search a keyword and it's tied to a city. And there's 20 really strong keywords, which we're all going to dive into, ranging from realtor and city name, all the way down to long tail keywords, which is real estate agents that are the best listing agent and city name. And there's about a series of 100 different keywords. And if you're consistently ranking for a keyword in a city, it's just allowing you to always be consistently considered for the call to go on the listing appointment. So hence, that's what a modern day brick and mortar looks like, right? So with that being said, one of the biggest challenges we have, like Leo said, there's about 1.7 million of us, right? And everyone's preaching global luxury expert, or they got their first name and last name. But what does a homeowner really want? Are you a local expert at marketing and selling my city's lifestyle? And they're going to list with you if they like, know, and trust you. And if you deliver a unique proposition to simply sell their home for the most money, quickest timeframes, and most favorable terms. So with that being said, it's powerful because I have a very tough, name, Anthony Grynchow. You try to Google it, you're going to get lost in the sea of there's probably thousands of Anthony's out there that are realtors, right? So the beauty with me being Mr. Claremont is you hear it one time, and if you live in this city, you'll never forget for the rest of your life. And when you Google it, Mr. Claremont Real Estate pops up right away, and that's the modern day office. Okay, so we'll slide into slide 2 or 3.
Let's go.
So, yeah, so with this being said, what I'm very proud about is, so I've been able to quickly achieve all of my goals, right? And so what Mr. Claremont has allowed me to do from the beginning of this call, we're talking about mindset, affirmations, manifestation techniques. See, there's two things a human being cannot give themselves, right? And that's why there's a whole real estate coaching industry. It's personal attention and appreciation. Well, I decided to give that to myself by creating this surrogate identity as Mr. Claremont and assigning affirmations to it. So when Leo explained to you who I was, there was a time where, 4 to 5 years ago, I was just Anthony Grynchow, real estate agent, right? But when I wrote down a series of affirmations and decided what Mr. Claremont was, I wrote down 4.5 years ago, about 5 years now, I'll never forget, is it possible for me to be so much more than Anthony, get my dream home in North Claremont, build a family, make millions of dollars, buy all the commercial real estate, residential real estate, and hit my goals? And what happened is I would put on this shirt and I'd wear Mr. Claremont on my shirt. It'd be on my car. It would be on my business cards, and it trained my subconscious mind. And when I'd be out there in the field and people like, oh, there's Mr. Claremont, they would point at me, they would like it, they would smile, they would say certain things. It made me feel a certain way. It made me feel like this crossbreed between a local celebrity and a public figure. And it gave me the personal attention and appreciation I needed. Because I was like, hey, man, I'm Mr. Claremont. I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm wealthy, I'm the most sought after listing agent. And I kept saying it over and over, and it all happened, right? So fast forward, right? It's extremely important because what ended up, tying in when the internet changed just recently in the last 2 to 3 years, right, is it became city-specific searching with the keywords, right? And so what I decided to do is I hit all my goals, and I wanted to give back to our real estate community and help others of like kind. And so building the DLE network, we've become what the industry's only unique and exclusive enterprise. And we have over 150,000 trademarks. We operate in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and we deliver the most powerful personal branding in the real estate industry that's tied and backed by us being able to build agent-centric virtual offices that are geographically exclusive, and we offer the most powerful SEO advantage. Next one.
All right, next slide.
Hey.
I think as soon as I hit the slide bar here, give me a second. There we go. Okay, cool. There we go.
So, with that being said, so we're just kind of building into what the SEO is, and I'm going to lay out all these golden nuggets for you guys to take with you. So the ideal branding modern day, here's some fun, we'll get into the fun facts, is you want to be perceived as a local expert backed by, EXP Global Connections, for example, right? And if you're easy to remember, find, and choose when they see you out in the field, like they forget my name, they Google Mr. Claremont, boom, I'm right there, that's power. But then you also want to be, found when someone searches anything in Google, okay? And now something to be aware, you guys got to write this down. You know how your iPhone has Siri? Well, Google has Google Bard, and Google this year, 2024, is evolving again into what's called generative AI, okay? And basically, Google's becoming AI, and when you're asking it questions such as long-tail keywords, like short-tail keywords are, if you pull out your iPhone and Google Mission Viejo Realtors, you're going to see, Miss Mission Viejo Real Estate, right? But then if you're talking to Google, right, and it's generative AI and you're having a conversation, that's what long tail keywords are. And that future is already here. And we're going to dive into that in a moment. Okay. So just remember that. Okay. Two different types of keywords, short tail and long tail. So the best part of it is, when you're going out in the field, you're going to be found online, and that's the key. So anytime anyone searches a keyword, if you're found there and if they forget your name, they Google you, you always have to be top of mind and considered for the call to go on the listing appointment. So, and then when you get on the listing appointment, think of it like this. In the medical field, there's 47 different, doctors, right? So if you have a heart problem, you're going to the cardiologist. If you have a child that's sick, you're going to the pediatrician, right? So when you're developing a personal brand that's tied with SEO, I consistently go on listing appointments in my geofarm in Claremont, and I've successfully closed over 140 transactions. When you're in that battle for the local market share, you're going to be competing against a lot of top competitors, and you're going to be interviewed by smart, intelligent sellers. And the bottom line is I consistently go on listing appointments against agents that consistently rank worldwide, and they're ranked in the top 5 for sales volume with Remax and Sotheby's. So those are like the two brokerages I'm always going head to head with. But when I go on this listing appointment and we, talk about what Mr. Claremont is, and I was selected by the DLE as a Claremont Real Estate Wealth Management, and I specialize and I work these listings in Claremont in this price range, I'm now perceived as the surgeon to help them with all my, global connections behind me with my global brokerage. But then it's like a 1-2 combo. But then the right hook comes in when I'm Mr. Claremont, and I'm a Claremont Real Estate Wealth Management expert that's going to get you top dollar, right? And I just say things like, you can go ahead and Google any keywords you want, and I'm also trusted by Google. I have the most powerful virtual office, and I get about 10,000 views a month. So just by having your listing on my virtual office, I can expose your home to that much more exposure, right? And I have access to exclusive buyers and marketing platforms no one else in the world has. So what that means is when they can pull out their iPhone and they Google buy a home in Claremont, and then, I'm on the top 3 in maps, that's power. That's unique power. And what it allows me to do is not only dominate the competition on the listing appointment, but I get it signed, and I also get it signed at 6%. And more importantly, I get it priced right. So that's the key, getting it priced right, signed at 6%, and on to the next. Next slide.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so speaking of searches, right? So anyone, right, modern day, so you want to be perceived in the real estate business right now in 2024, you got to have a niche. You got to live somewhere, and you got to have a brick and mortar somewhere. And when you're perceived as the local expert backed by global connections, you're going to be unstoppable, okay? And the bottom line is, post-pandemic, what we're going to talk about is people have become highly intelligent, right? So what do I mean by that? Post-pandemic here, they understand you don't need, as a realtor, you don't need a brick and mortar in town, right? And what we're going to talk about is how you can find yourself organically and get to that first page of Google, because the click-through rate is about 13 times higher than paid for ads and local service ads, right? So when people see sponsored or they see the word ad, the trust factor decreases substantially, and they scroll and they're looking for someone that's local, credible, that could help them navigate to buy a home or sell for top dollar, and it's that simple. Okay, next slide, Leo.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to dive into it, and if anyone has questions, I'm not monitoring the chat, Leo. If anyone has any questions, just throw it in the chat, and then we'll address it. So
good stuff, bro. Good stuff. You're crushing it. Love it.
So, all right. So I get excited about this because, again, like, I've achieved all my goals, and I have one simple. My religion is to maximize love and fun and help others of like kind. And I love this, and I love sharing this knowledge with you, because if you just captured 2% of the listing inventory in your city, you're going to be a multi-millionaire, and it's life-changing. And on top of that, being a local celebrity is extremely fun, right? You get a lot of personal attention and appreciation, which you need because we spend 95% of our time prospecting and following up. It gets challenging, and it's nice to, feel good out there. So look at these stats, right? So if there's, 90% of the people never scroll past the first page of Google, and Google is responsible for 95% of all search traffic. That's huge, right? Everyone pulls out their iPhone. They own the internet, right? Now, the reason why it's so important is because when you find your way on the first page of Google, okay, the click-through rate, meaning that means when someone clicks on your Google business profile and they click on your website, they scope you out and they call you to, you know, ask questions and do business with you to go on the listing appointment, it's now 13 times higher and growing more every single day than the guys that are running paid for ads. Now, when you're organically ranking, you know, in the top 3 in the maps pack on Google, you could still run local service ads and pay-per-calls, right? But that's a huge rat race and it's a bidding war and Google could take your money quickly. So the best strategy is what? Every single facet of hyper-local marketing, it's all a numbers game and consistency, whether you're doing print mail, email, door knocking, cold calling, it's a numbers game and consistency. So can you maintain this bidding war against who? Every single city out there, there's literally in Claremont, there's over 1,200 licensed agents that live here, and there's tens of thousands surrounding. There's always going to be a big dog that's going to want to outspend you. So don't enter the rat race. You got to focus on complete vertical integration, just like Andrew Carnegie and took over the United States with steel. You got to focus on what you can control and what you can't control. And that's how you get rid of anxiety, by the way. So to get leads, let's hit the next slide.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so the key is this. This is what it looks like when I'm talking about, right? You want to be found on the first page. You could still run the local service ads, but people now what? They scroll, they look for a local expert, and they now understand, hey, you don't really need a brick and mortar office to do business with me. They understand if it says paid for or sponsored, the trust factor decreases. And if you're in the top 3 in maps, that's where 54% of all clicks go, right? And so just think of it like this. If you don't have a plan to get here or you're not there, you will never exist or be considered for the call to go on a listing appointment, right? So it's extremely important to understand the basics. So when it comes to ranking on Google, okay, you got to have so for your whole online presentation, I'm going to hit a few of these key points. You got to have what's called NAP consistency, right? So you got to have your business name, your business address, your business website and phone number, and it's got to be consistent on all social platforms. So your Google business and all your social media and your website, it's got to be lined up to a T. So for example, we're talking specifics, right? So if your name is, for example, Mr. Claremont Real Estate, and my Instagram and Facebook just says Mr. Claremont, that's not NAP consistent because Mr. Claremont Real Estate is the name of my Google business profile. My cell phone number listed on Google, if I put my cell phone number in a dash and then the rest of the digits, but on, let's say, my Tumblr Twitter account, it's my cell phone number with a dot separating the area code from the rest of it, that's not NAP consistent. And if you make any little error in your NAP consistency on your entire online presence, then you're going to get deranked, right? Because at the end of the day, what is Google looking for? It's incredible. If you guys have the Google Maps app on your cell phone, which you should, it's evolved. So what does that mean? If you pull out your cell phone and you hit Google Maps on the bottom right corner, if you have a Google business profile, you click there, right? And that's how you pull it up in Google Maps. So the key is this. You line up your NAP consistency, right? Your website that's connected to your Google business profile. You got to have all your social media on there, and the NAP consistency has to be perfect. And then what Google is looking for is when you download your Google Maps app, you're going to see a lot of stuff, right? You can manage your entire Google business profile dashboard from here, and they're looking for a local guide, right? What do the buyers and sellers in your cities want? They want a local expert. They want a local guide that they could trust to give them the most valuable information. So with that being said, what you have to focus on, right, is understanding, hey, if I open up Google Maps, what is that? That's a crossbreed between basically Instagram and I would say, Yelp, right? Because you have your reviews on there. And as a local guide, your Gmail account with your Google business profile, you could leave reviews, right? And that's your entire dashboard to post on, right? So you need to operate Google Maps just like your Facebook and Instagram app. You better get familiar with it, because if you're not, we're talking big money. Leo, hit the next slide, and I'm going to just really hit it with it.
Let's go.
So think of it like this, right? Let's talk about it. We're highlighting the organic search results and paid for ads. Think about it, right? So if you pull out your iPhone right now, you can Google anything that you're looking for a realtor in Claremont. We're going to dive into it, okay? Consumers want what? What does a homeowner or buyer want? They want to know you're local and credible, and you got some reviews. You have your NAP consistency lined up, right? And that your Google business profile is optimized, right? So it comes down just to the raw basics. Your category should be real estate agent, not real estate consultant, right? Not real estate broker. You're a real estate agent, okay? Now, the key is the website that's connected to your Google business profile. You better have a high domain authority score. You better have high relevancy, and you better have a lot of real estate niche related backlinks, right? And what does that mean? Okay. How do you provide, a credible website to connect to your Google business profile? It's all about providing local, credible knowledge and information, right? So for example, I'll just hit one of them, your blog. So your blog on your website, if you're posting unique local content that's non-AI, because Google's smart. They know if it's AI content you're spitting out there, and they'll derank you. But if you're providing credible, local, unique, city-specific real estate content, Google's like, hey, where's Mr. Claremont? Is there a Mr. Claremont in this city providing local, credible real estate knowledge and updates? And if so, we're going to rank them higher, right? So if you have an active blog and you're consistently posting and you get picked up by and you're guest posting on other local real estate websites and you're getting reviews from clients, Google's going to be like, this is a local, credible, trustworthy individual, and we want his local voice, that's what they call it, as a local guide to rise in the rankings, right? So the same way you got to be perceived by Google is the same way the homeowners want to see it, right? They want to just quickly look at your profile like, boom, he's got at least, 50, 60, 70 reviews. They might read the top 2 or 3, and they're not going to really read your blog. Maybe they'll scan over it. It's a professional looking website. You get the phone call, okay? So that's extremely important. What content are you putting out there? Now think about it. What does Google own? Google owns YouTube, right? So if you have the discipline, right, to get out there, and if you download Google Maps and YouTube, both those icons should be right next to each other. And whatever you're posting on your Google business profile, your blog, and all your social media, if you have that NAP consistency lined up and you're posting multiple times per week, that's the key, right? But you got to remember, the key is if you videotape yourself, Google's now so smart that if I went and let's say I just took 8 listings. I just listed 4 in Claremont. And let's say I get my iPhone and I'm like, hey, it's Mr. Claremont. The weather's 78 degrees today, beautiful day. Interest rates are coming in the 5s. Let me tell you what you can get in Claremont for, 800,000, quick walkthrough. But at the end of the video, if I say, if you have any questions, call Mr. Claremont Real Estate. I humble myself on being the best realtor in Claremont. I just said a keyword. That keyword, verbally saying it, is equivalent to a hashtag, okay? So now Google hears that, and if I post that video on the Google business profile, on the blog, and all my social media, what are we telling Google? I'm a local, credible guide providing unique content, right? Whether it's written on your blog or if it's video content, you got to stay consistent with it. Okay. So those are just those are very, very key specifics, right? And once you understand lining up that consistency and having a brand identity that, really goes with your audience, right? And you just understand if you just consistently ranked high for the most important keywords, your phone's going to be blown up. And trust me, your life changes when people call you to come list your house. Next slide, Leo. Okay. So with that, I'm going to touch another key point. Okay. So at the end of the day, right, we're talking about being perceived from Google as a local expert, right? Now, there's one thing that I want to touch on that a lot of people don't know about in our industry. You have to leverage the MLS and your social media with what's called metadata. Okay, so you got to understand Google's a machine, and even with AI and all this tech, and it can listen to a keyword and now identify, they can't read pictures. So video content's key if you leverage it to dominate these keywords for your city. But Google is a machine and it cannot read like we can with eyes and look at a picture and say, hey, this is a picture of, a guy selling a home in Claremont, right? So how you teach Google how to read, it's called metadata, okay? So you got to tell Google, hey, for example, I just got, multiple listings, right? But you could actually insert into every single photo multiple key elements to substantially increase your SEO, right? So here's how it's done. So let's say I launch a picture of a home I'm selling in Claremont, right? You could literally do an injection into the photograph and the video that you launch in the MLS that syndicates to tens of thousands of websites in the real estate industry, such as Zillow, right? And I could insert my Google business address, 2293 Bonnie Bray Avenue, Claremont, California, 91711. I could inject the Google listing coordinates, longitude and latitude, right? I can inject my website, my phone number, and the keyword Claremont Realtor into the photo, right? And what do you think happens when you upload that in the MLS like a Trojan horse and it just blasts out to all these websites? That's called a local citation, and it's going to point back with my business name, the NAP consistency, my business name, address, website, and phone number straight to my Google business profile. What do you think happens when my NAP consistency is lined up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you do the same thing? So you have to leverage these social networks and the MLS with metadata to blast it out there and increase your local SEO. It's extremely critical that you're aware of what metadata is, because at the end of the day, video is different, but with pictures, right? You got to, Google's smart enough to watch videos now, but with photographs, you still have to tell it what it is. And that is a massive, massive SEO advantage. And what we've learned on the screen, if you name your business Mr. Huntington Beach Real Estate, for example, you could legally protect that name with DBAs, right? And if you have a Huntington Beach address, you got to have an address in your city, okay? You can flip it to a service area, but if it's storefront, it's more powerful. And so if you have your business name, Mr. Huntington Beach Real Estate, your business address is in Huntington Beach, and you do metadata injections with your photo that you launch in the MLS of the home you're selling, and it's called Huntington Beach, real estate agent, and all the metadata, it's a trifecta. So what happens is, on average, your competition, it's unprecedented. Most of these cities in California, literally your competition to get in that magic top 3 maps, they spend anywhere from $4,000 to $11,000 a month with these Google business profile SEO companies to get you there, right? But on average, for the more competitive cities like Mission Viejo, it's a beautiful city in Orange County, And if you Google Mission Viejo realtors, right, that competition was fierce. On average, they're spending 8 to 11 grand a month. There's like a group of, it's like 12 real estate agents that are paying substantial amounts of money to get there, right? But what we've learned is the most powerful competitive advantage we, offer to our members, and we try to teach them, is when you can legally defend Mission Viejo real estate, have the metadata injections consistently going on your photos and videos. You have a Mission Viejo real estate address, and we've created the industry's most powerful website in the world, where we can what's called evenly distribute and transfer domain authority and relevancy and link juice to our members to get them to rank super high and fast. Okay. All right. Next slide, Leo.
All right. All right. There you go.
Okay.
And then we got about 3 more minutes. We got about how long do you need? And that's just why I want to be mindful, because we usually end at 11. So how long do you need? I think we can extend it for another 10 minutes if need be. Just want to make sure everybody's okay with it. But
5 more minutes. Yeah, I just want to kind of hit the final.
Okay, cool.
Points.
Awesome.
Bottom line is, by me being Mr. Claremont, it's been completely life-changing. When I named my business Mr. Claremont Real Estate, and I said I was selected, not self-appointed, by the DLE for getting top dollar. Here's another valuable thing I've learned. Remember this, right? People perceive Mr. Claremont Real Estate as a commercial brokerage. They perceive me as a property management company and an appraisal company. Pull out your iPhone and Google appraiser Claremont, California, or Claremont, California appraiser. I made $126,000 last year because I own that keyword. I'm always on the first page organically for that. And when they call and they say, hey, I just want to know what my home's worth, I'm going to sell, I go on the appointment and I close. So think about that. Just owning one keyword made me 6 figures. Just one keyword out of the list of 100. So it's big money, okay? But more importantly, it's the identity as Mr. Claremont Real Estate. They perceive as so many different things, and it always consistently leads to a call to go on a listing appointment versus my business being named Anthony Grynchow. And when I go on that listing appointment and everyone's, trying to differentiate themselves and be unique, and they show their designations, it's just a bunch of alphabet soup. And when I just pull Mr. Claremont and my global luxury network, I'm always not only am I getting the call to go on the appointment, but I close them 100% of the time. All right, next slide. So, okay, there we go. If you want to learn more,
we did it. Okay. We landed the plane.
We landed the plane. I just had to spit it out as fast as I could.
So good.
Right?
So good.
All you have to do. So what I'm passionate about is this, okay? If you go to expdle.com, I've partnered with Leo, and right now, before we do this massive nationwide launch, you can learn so much on this landing page about the key points of what I'm talking about and the unique value we could offer you. Basically, what SEO companies would charge, which would cost $2 grand a month to try to compete with your competition, we offer that at a wholesale price. We could offer you on there our platinum membership for the gold price just for Leo and his crew. And then after that, we're doing these massive nationwide campaigns, and we only select one agent per major locale. But the beauty with it is modern day real estate, you want to be easy to remember, find, and choose to go on the listing appointment. When they hear your name and they forget, you want to have a name they can Google, and you have a knowledge panel. A knowledge panel with Google means you type in a keyword and your profile instantly appears. You Google, you forget my first name, last name, you Google Mr. Claremont, that's a knowledge panel, right? And then when searchers worldwide, I have an international real estate office for all the most important keywords are searching it, I'm there. And with that, I have made over the years millions of dollars, and it's completely changed my life.
I love it, bro. I love it, man. This was so fire. I was taking so much notes. Let's give him a huge round of applause, guys, if you guys got a ton of value. I just dropped in the link here in the chat as well. Again, Anthony, we're only there's only going to be one person per city, guys. We're going to be sending this out to almost 200,000 real estate professionals by next week. This thing is going to go far. It's nationwide. It's available everywhere. And
Leo, I have a-
give me one second. By the way, guys, if you guys notice on the website, the platinum pricing is $14.99 a month. Everybody in here, we're going to be able to get it for $3.99 a month. And this thing is like, it's a huge incentive. So I just wanted you guys have this ahead of everybody else. So I wanted to give you guys this gift. Anthony's giving us this gift. Jeff, which is also the co-founder, is here. He's giving us this gift. So it's going to be big. So I want to see you guys rank high on Google and crush it out there. So I think there was somebody with a question.
I had a question for the speaker. What if you know, there's multiple people in one city? Because I mean, like myself, I thought I was Mr. Fresno, but I guess it's already.
That's it. We're a trademarked enterprise, and like that's it. There's only one, and Mr. Fresno, I believe he's on the call today. You could ask him how many listing appointments and calls he got last week. He picked up 5 clients from just being Mr. Fresno. Unfortunately, that's it. We're the only ones in the industry that's unique and exclusive. We're selective, and we're just after. If this is very powerful, if you're willing to believe and put your heart into it, it's true magic. But unfortunately, Fresno's taken, and you know, I think we've got about 65 territories surrounding that, a little bit southern and northern, and that's it. We can only select one per locale. We have a legal team that defends you, and I mean, there's so much more. Put it this way, the Mr. Fresno brand, you can connect with him. This whole Google business profile SEO of what we offer you is only 20% of what we offer as you being a member of the DLE network. We hit it hard from so many different angles. We could show you how to take away the power from Zillow and redirect it back to you, all your leads, right? It's through indirect marketing. There's so many substantial advantages it offers, but you might want to just choose another city. And again, it's limited, and we're about to do a nationwide launch, and we can only select one. And a lot of the surrounding cities we block out because we don't want to dilute the brand. So
instead of Mr., could I be like El Señor Fresno or something for the Spanish?
No, the IP, actually it's called causing confusion. And bottom line is we can defend the Mr. and Miss and anything remotely close to it.
All right, thank you.
Madera's taken, but yeah,
guys, I'm telling you guys should jump on this. Jump on this. Don't miss out. Like, this is going to give you guys come list me calls. And you guys already like doing proper SEO. The majority of the companies, I've checked them out. This is why I decided to partner with Anthony. They're charging $5,000 to $10,000 a month for, and they're doing way less than this.
Way less.
Like, it doesn't even compare. It's epic. How can they connect with you guys to check if their city is available? How could we do that?
So if you just remember the domain, it's super easy. expdle.com. This is an exclusive specific to Leo before we start our nationwide marketing campaigns. And there's a button that says check to see if your city is available. You can fill that out, enter in your information. And after that, you have to fill out an application. We have hundreds of thousands of inquiries and apps throughout the US, UK, and Canada. And we're slowly going through them, and we can only select one. So we got to let you know, like, sorry, Fresno's taken, right? But you first see if it's available. Jeff, who's on this call, will connect with you. And then if you are interested, you fill out the application. And then from there, if you're on Leo's team or an affiliate with Leo, you get the platinum package for the gold pricing, and will completely allow you, besides the Google rankings, you have to be willing and ready to experience an identity shift to become the highest and best possible version of yourself. Because you will become famous, you will become a public figure, and you have to be ready for it. Okay? So if you're willing to do that, first, go to that landing page, see if your city is available. The team will connect with you. And then we're going in the first quarter of 2024 with nationwide. We're just going to start filling slots. So,
yes.
Hey, Anthony, I have a question. Is that okay, Leo?
Go for it. One more question.
Anthony,
I got to wrap up because I do have a call. Let's go.
Anthony, a question is how about in the commercial space? Is that available?
It is. So when you're talking about commercial real estate, right?
Mhm.
Go ahead and Google commercial broker in Claremont. See who comes up on the first page of Google. I just listed a travel center for $3 million, and I just got 4 land deals and a commercial deal in Ontario. That's what's called a commercial real estate brokerage when you own those keywords in your city. That's how you got to think, right?
Got it.
But when you're perceived as Mr. City Name Real Estate, that's a commercial brokerage. Mr. City Name Real Estate is perceived as an appraisal company. It's incredible how you're perceived. You're perceived as a one-stop shop, right?